Yeah, that's brilliant. That's terrific. Yeah, so he is the little version of the king. Like it's not so much that it's just funny because he's big physically, but he is, yeah, the little version of the person that the part of Robin Hood that wants to be king.
Mhm.
One thing I don't so but why does he need to lose to Little John? Is it like he therefore sees how powerful that part of his soul is, and he will be wary of it. He will be careful. It'll be by his right side, and he will control it politically. But if he had beaten it's the idea that it would be a suppressed part of his soul, and so therefore it could uh, erupt back up if he did gain political power. And why does he need to lose to it?
Yeah, I mean, I think you could make the same case for Little John representing this part of, the ideal rebel leader, if he had won.
Mm,
But I think, and Pageau kind of points to this too, there's an element of like humility, or
mm.
it's a mirroring of like Christ on the cross, right?
Mm. Yeah,
And I know
being beaten very badly, struggling, being
yeah,
hurt.
and acknowledging that, like, if you look at the story of Christ, Jesus is God. Christ is God as a human, in human form. There's not a difference there. God comes to earth and can't beat the political structure, tries to help people, gets rejected by them, is totally innocent, and is hung on a cross, one of the most painful ways you could possibly die. Like, that's not a triumphant story. God doesn't conquer the earth by conquering the earth, you know? God conquers the earth by submitting to the entirety of the process. And if we look at Robin Hood, what I see there is, like, if he had triumphed over Little John, he may have like he may have believed he was impervious to corruption. He may not have valued the danger that trying to become king himself, or trying to overthrow the political structure and replace it with himself and his own structure. He wouldn't have seen the danger of it. And by losing, it's like, oh, I have to rise to my level and wait for the true king to come back. I'm not trying to become the true king. And if he had beaten John, it may have implied, mythologically speaking, poetically speaking, oh, he is able to beat that false identity, and he's able to become the true king. He's able to, like, represent that role. And
Hmm.
that's not the story we're telling. We're telling the
Mm,
story of the person that goes into the dark, into the low, and amongst the outlaws at the edge of the, in the woods, in the green
mm.
woods. And he helps facilitate the social order until the true king comes in. And I just think that, on a really esoteric level, there's an element of, like, when we're doing meditation or personal work, the ego with which we do the work is never going to become God. Like, that what or enlightened. Enlightenment is sort of the falling away of the ego.
Mm.
Not that I think the guy writing Robin Hood had all of these ideas, but
Yeah,
stories have patterns in them for a reason, right? And I
yeah.
think I think the pattern is pointing to that there's a humility, and then when the rightful king returns, everything is made right, and Robin Hood gets to be a nobility again. He gets his lands and titles restored. He gets to marry Maid Marian, and they kind of have the whole happily ever after thing. But he doesn't achieve it himself. He achieves it on behalf of the true king,
Yeah.
and that's mirroring, like, the Grail myth of the Fisher King versus the Grail King. Um, it's just, if you keep trying to become that force instead of just maintaining what is there in the hopes that something good will come in, um, you run the risk of perpetuating the cycle of illegitimate leadership.